So it's that time of the year, vision board season, where most of us who are not able to plan their year during the December-January transition are able to sit down, set their goals, and make their vision boards. Now, this is a beginner guide for anybody who does not understand vision boards, or anyone who truly wants to understand why vision boards work and how to clearly make a realistic vision board. And remember, as much as we spend time making cute vision boards, the work comes in when we put the action into it. So if you're just doing a vision board and you're not planning to do anything about it, none of those goals or none of those dreams are going to be achieved. So let's get into it. So in this video, we'll talk about why vision boards work, how the RAS in your brain responds to visual cues, how to set meaningful goals, and finally, how to design a beautiful and ugly personal vision board using Pinterest and Canva. So if you're ready to learn, kindly take out a notebook and let's start. Number one is why you should be making a vision board. And I'm going to give you an explanation before I tell you why. Most people who love cars, that is the example I'm going to be giving you, is if you actually want to purchase a car or a car is in your vision board or it's your dream car, every single time you're on the road, you tend to notice this specific car. Another example is for special number plates with the cars. Now, that happened to me where these days I tend to notice special number plates, where a special number plate is like 444T, and I'm like, special number plate. Or for ladies, when you're trying to go probably to polish your nails or do your nails, every single time you tend to notice other ladies who want to put almost the same nail polish color or the same, like a French tip that you want to put. Yeah. And that's because the RAS in your brain filters it and filters all this information around you and tells your brain that this is very important. So notice this. The RAS, which is the Reticular Activating System, is your brain internal filter. Think of it like that. It pays attention to whatever your brain says is very much important. So when you repeatedly see images of your goals, your brain begins to recognize opportunities, patterns, and actions that align with them. And that's why visualization is very important. And that's why you should be making a vision board. Now that we fully understand why you should be making a vision board, we'll move to the second point. So the second thing that we're going to be talking about before we even start creating our vision boards is setting a theme. Now, I personally do this. I don't know if people do it, but I do it because it fully aligns me with my goals. I choose a theme that aligns with everything I want to achieve. And for this year, my theme is try everything. Try everything. And I do have a Bible verse that goes with that. Ecclesiastes 11:6. Sow your seed in the morning, and in the evening let your hands not be idle. For you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will equally do well. We are going for equally do well, but either way, the whole point is, even the Bible says, sow your seeds and work. Try everything that you want to try. You never know which one succeeds or both equally succeed. And that is the theme for my year. So when you sit down, kindly write the theme that will guide your year. So the first step after identifying and writing down your theme is take a notebook. And this is very important. Take a notebook, not an iPad, not anything else. Take a notebook and write down your goals. I have a few categories that will help you manage and write down your goals. So the first one is relationships. So write these as one of the first categories. The second thing is personal development. The third thing is finances, career, all those things in one. The last one is your health. So with these 4 categories that you have, write them down, and then below these 4 categories, write down your goals. Now, all the things we want to achieve in life basically fall into these 4 categories. Like the travel and everything we want to do falls in between the personal development. Your relationships is basically relationships with your family, with your partner, or with your brothers and sisters, or with your friends. Finances and career is basically all the things you want to achieve, be it you're an influencer, be it you're working in an office. This falls under career and finances. And the last one is health and fitness and wellness. This is where you get to basically think about your health and your mind and your wellness. So basically everything we want to do in life most of the times falls under these 4 categories. So write down these 4 categories, and then for each category, write down your goals. And if I were you, I'd be detailed as possible. I wrote down my goals in one of my books somewhere here. And what I did was, for each and every single goal, like one of the first goals that I have is moving out. And I wrote moving out, and I actually sat down and looked at different houses, the amount of rent that I want to pay, the maximum that is. I looked at the things that I need inside my house, like I need a couch. When I'm moving in, I need a couch, I need a stove, I need a cooking, somewhere to cook. I need a few things, and I wrote all these things down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the prices of all these things. I've written down cups and plates and the things I want to buy. And I'm going on TikTok and everything. I'm going to look for the average pricing of all these things that will help me understand how much I need to actually move out and be stable for around 4 to 6 months. So that is detailed and how precise I want you to put down your goals. Like if it's moving out, don't just put moving out full stop. Be detailed as possible. And basically how you're going to achieve these goals, if possible. Now for me, I need to do a bit of more work for me to get the rent. I need to probably do a bit of more planning before I get out of my mom's house. I need to buy probably these things and store them here before I get to move, if I have the money to purchase them at that time and that moment. So that is basically what I'm talking about. Write down your goals. Please don't type on a keyboard. Write down your goals. There's something that does to your brain. There's a study for that. I'm pretty sure there's a study for that. I've just forgotten what, but it's how we get to basically engrave all the things and the goals we want to achieve in our brains. Once our goals are very clear and very detailed, we now move on to my happy place, Pinterest, before we get to designing. So this is where you go to pick the pictures that speak to you emotionally, not just pictures that look good, that speak to you emotionally and that aligns with your goals. What I tend to do is I pick a theme color. For me, now, before we get there, is vision boards can be both ugly and pretty, however you want to put it. It doesn't have to be pretty for it to be achievable. It can be as ugly as it is. It just needs to be personal. And it can be beautiful as it is. It just needs to be personal. That's the whole point. It needs to be personal to you and speaks to you and your brain and your mind and your emotions. If you can clearly see behind me, you basically notice a few colors. What I have is a lot of blues, reds, greens. Those are my brand colors. I love colors, so my vision board will pop. Definitely will pop because I love colors. So what I do is I pick theme colors and I go for each and every single goal and look for pictures. Now, what makes it pop is I don't need to pick a picture that has the same color most of the times. What I need to do is just pick pictures that resonate with me, and then when it comes to designing in Canva, I get to have a few elements that make those colors pop. Go to Pinterest right now if you can. If you've written down your goals, if you're doing this with me, go to Pinterest, open Pinterest, and look for these pictures. What I tend to do is, it's very easy. I mean, most of us have used Pinterest. Is if you're planning to buy a car, is Mazda, for example, that is what I want to buy next year, is Mazda, red Mazda, or a Mazda car or something of the sort, and you'll get a lot of images representing that. If you can't, go to Google, find a specific Mazda that you want to buy and follow it, download the picture and store them in a folder. This is basically like the last type of thing you need to be doing. So after putting all these pictures from Pinterest into a folder, we now open Canva. Now, I've been using Canva for a while now, and most people who design their vision boards use Canva. Upload the images onto Canva using the upload button. Take all these pictures into Canva and then choose a blank page. And what you do after that is no rules, just you and what you feel is right and what should stay on this other side. Now, for me, what I tend to do is I always have a middle picture that represents how my year would actually turn out. Like, I want a very artistic year. Then again, as I said, my theme is try everything. So this is basically like a graffiti of one of my favorite artists, and this basically shows a lot of things happening in one. So try everything. And what I tend to do is I put it as a middle, I'd say, portrait. Then it helps me guide the rest, or sometimes I even put it as the last thing for easy management and for not being overwhelming. What I tend to do is, you remember the 4 categories that we chose? Put them into corners. Now, moving out for me is on this side of the corner. I have fashion here, I have relationships here, I have all the things I'm going to try over here, and I have travel here. Now, you can choose to do it in that way so that it's not overwhelming for you, because that's what I tend to do and that's what I tend to teach people. When you're more advanced, you can put the pictures however you want it to be. But then again, most of the times, you're the only one who understands your vision board. So put it how your heart tells you to put it. Genuinely. Please do. So, the 2 ways after doing all this and putting small elements and putting small titles for you to fully understand how your vision board works, what I tend to do after that is I pray before I send it to my printer guy. Pray over your goals. Believe that all these goals will work out, and then download it as a PDF and send it to your printer. Now, there are 2 ways of doing a vision board that I did not mention when we basically started the video. Is most people tend to have a physical vision board where after sending it to the printer, they print the pictures into small pictures like this. And now what they do is they now come and put it on a physical board like this. That is an advisable way of doing it, but what I tend to do is have this physical one where after designing, I send it to a printer guy and I frame it. Both ways are good. Choose the one you want to do. This one, of course, will give you like more activities to do, like physically and all that, you know, with the gluing and putting it on a whole board. And then this is basically after designing it in Canva, you move to framing it. I love framing it because honestly, I love having art pieces in my room, and I'm an artistic person, so I just love pretty things and aesthetically pleasing things. But then again, as I sit down and look at it, these are pictures that represent what I want to achieve and who I want to be in the year 2026. If you have any writing, any quotes that you want to put over your vision board, please do so. These are things or small elements that speak to you put them on your vision, like put everything that speaks to you, because you're the only one who understands your vision board. Put them there. If that is what is going to make you wake up energetic, ready to work for your goals, do it. Put it there. Do whatever you want, because this is personal to you. And that's fully it. I hope this was very easy for you. It's very hard for me to explain things. I don't know if I'm a good teacher or not, but that's fully it. Lastly, thank you. Thank you for sitting down and listening to me, and for putting down your goals and writing your goals. If you're doing this with me, congratulations. You've gotten to the end of the video and you probably now have a vision board, or you're going to make one in a few. I hope you understand why it is important to have a vision board, because that's the main goal for this video. Like, that's the main goal. Understand why you need a vision board and make one. It's very easy to make one. Make one. You don't need a lot of pictures like this. If you're a minimal person, probably you just need like 8 to 12 pictures. That is you. Do you? Because that is also perfect in your eyes. Like, there's no right or wrong on how to do all these things, but that's fully it. And as we end this video, as you do your vision board, remember, it is very much useless if you don't work towards your goal. There's so many videos that talk about building systems and setting your goals in a realistic way and breaking them down into 12, 24-week type of, I'd say, 75 hard type of thing, or where you're basically able to track your goals. What I tend to do this year for me is I'm going to be buying a bottle, or basically like a glass jar, and every single month I'm going to be putting a paper that says about or is grateful for the goal that I achieved. This is fully for my goals. Like, every single month I'm going to sit down and look at the goals I have. Did I achieve any? If yes, put a paper inside. If no, we try next month. I also have a digitized way of doing things. What I did was, for my phone, is on my notepad, what I did was created a list, and every single time I tick something is I click the checklist. So a goal is clicked and goes down. So that is also another way you can track your goals. Remember to track your goals. Remember to work towards your goals, because building a vision board does not end after you've done the printing and it's now fully on a board. It only happens when next year, at a time like this, you sit down and you're happy because you're able to work towards your goals. And even if you didn't achieve like 100% of it, you achieved beyond 60% about or on it. And that's fully it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying in, and see you in my next. Bye. Sarangel. Before I forget, it's my goal to reach 10,000 people subscribers by the end of the year. So if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, like, and share this video, especially if you found it helpful, and see you in my next. Bye. Sarangel.